the first to dance Stravinsky's Firebird. Karsavina said that when she was admitted to the Theatre Street School, she felt the exhilaration of a young nun who has just taken her vows. Like the religious life, the life of a dancer requires devotion, an endless repetition of physical phrases, and a ritual striving for a level of perfection that is always out of reach. Beethoven and Tchaikovsky seem in turn bored and wild at Alex's piano lesson. But Petipa is pleased. He was convinced that dancers should know how to play an instrument. Petipa lived in Russia for 40 years without learning Russian. He felt it would work out just as well to have the students learn French. French, after all, was usually spoken instead of Russian at the imperial court. And the terminology of ballet is French, since the first formal school of ballet was established at the court of Louis XIV.
Je ferme la porte. Je suis chez moi, dans ma belle petite chambre claire. Sur ma fenêtre, j'ai des fleurs, et je regarde les ciel.
In 1847, when Petipa came to Russia, the French dominated the world of dance. It was largely his influence that brought Russian ballet into world prominence. This is Petipa. Petipa created the steps Lena is dancing. The ballet is Satinella, first performed in 1870 in St. Petersburg. In Russia, they use almost no ballet notation at all. Satinella has been preserved in memory by generations of teachers here, but it is totally unknown in the West. The rehearsal moves to the stage of the Kirov Theatre. Petipa worked in an age of ballets about princes and elves and fairies, but he brought to them an old-fashioned classical purity and demanded a level of technique that had been unknown in Russia before. Lena's partner, Lubomir Kapta, is also from Czechoslovakia. He will be dancing two important roles in the graduation performance. A male dancer is trained as a soloist and a partner. For his own performance, he needs strength and grace. To support the ballerina, he must also have an intuitive sense of timing and an infallible instinct for being exactly where he's needed at exactly the right moment. In an another week or two, the seats beyond the footlights will be filled with the avid balletomanes of the Leningrad audience. Lena's friend Michaela won the 1976 International Ballet Competition at Lausanne, Switzerland. When she graduates, she has a scholarship to study in the United States. Michaela is tall and large-boned for a dancer, but she has a very special fire and love of dancing that people sense right away when they watch her. Michaela is rehearsing the divertissement brillant. Divertissement means diversion. At the French court in the 17th century, ballets were not produced by themselves. Instead, they were diversions tucked into operas or masques. Later, a divertissement came to be a virtuoso set piece inserted into a ballet, whether it fit the story or not. The school dormitory is a 10-minute walk from Theatre Street. Stravinsky's Rite of Spring. This music caused a riot when it was first performed in Paris in 1913. It was considered shocking and ugly. This is a modern folk dance called Troika, choreographed to Stravinsky's music. Except for 8 weeks each summer, these children live in the dormitory continuously for 8 years. Some live too far from Leningrad to go home even for vacation. They spend their summers at the school's camp on the Black Sea. Like most children so young and so far from home, they are strictly chaperoned. Oleg is telling Alec about a movie he's just seen. He says some gangsters robbed a bank, the police caught up with them, and there was a terrific fight. Of course, the police won in the end. Alec says that's the way things should be. And this is the way things are. This is a school meeting of the Pioneers, a youth organization offering sports, arts and crafts, nature lore, and ideology. This is the child's first step toward membership in the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. For the children of Theatre Street, discipline and obedience blend easily with gentle music. For them, it is the way things have always been. Today is the annual awards meeting. Alec is on it.
Сегодня на уроке мы повторим с вами важнейшие государства мира. Государство социалистического лагеря, государство капиталистического лагеря.
Today we are going to study the important governments of the world. Socialist governments and capitalist governments. We'll repeat the names of the capitals and the countries. And we'll show where they are on the globe. Alec Timushin, will you please point out some of the capitals?
Покажи нам, пожалуйста, Польскую Народную Республику. Назови ее столицей.
The world seems to be in a somewhat run-down condition.
Столица Польши – Варшава.
Франция.
Франция. Столица Франции – Париж.
Соединенные Штаты Америки. Соединенные Штаты Америки.
Соединенные Штаты Америки. Столица Соединенных Штатов Америки – Вашингтон.
Покажи, пожалуйста. Вашингтон.
Leningrad was once the capital of another world, St. Petersburg, the city of Peter the Great. He planned this palace in 1715 to rival Versailles, more than 15 years before the first Russian child was trained in ballet. The children of Theatre Street are enjoying a day off.
Одна мечта. Я хочу сорвать с дерева апельсин. Господи, прошли все экзамены, кончились выпускные спектакли, и впереди целый месяц свободный. Я могу есть сколько хочу пирожных и мороженого, но потом опять надо будет худеть.
Да, жить здесь, конечно, в дворце замечательно, но это не для меня. Я предпочитаю жить в деревне. Но слабость моя в том, что я люблю огурцы и помидоры.
Peter the Great was an intellectual Tsar who was brought up as a peasant, ate with his fingers, and loved a practical joke. He had surprise fountains hidden in these gardens which shower you if you step on the right cobblestone. A dancer's body is her instrument. It can't be replaced. As long as she wants to dance, she must keep it in perfect tune. This scale has been here since imperial days. It says Fairbanks in Russian. It also says made in America. Nijinsky and Pavlova were subjected to it, and so is Lena.
44.
To keep the body in dancing trim takes more than willpower. It takes the lonely zeal of the long-distance runner. Zubkovskaya, a former star of the Kirov,